When Canada's Royal Canadian Mounted Police Force wants to find lost people, catch criminals, and uncover explosives, they call on an elite squad of Mounties. Highly trained assets with agile bodies, powerful jaws, and incredibly sharp noses. The training and selection process are rigorous and demanding. And those who ultimately make the cut never look back, because there's no assignment too tough for the K9 Mounties. The dogs of the K9 Mountie unit are important to law enforcement. They can sniff out explosives, find a missing person, or hunt down a suspected criminal. But not just any dog will do. These purebred German Shepherds are the product of selective breeding and are specially trained. The constables who become dog handlers in the K9 unit are part of a very elite team. There are only 140 K9 units across the country. Every year, only up to 12 top-notch constables are chosen to become dog handlers. They come to the RCMP Training Center at Innisfail, Alberta, to take an intense 3-level, 85-day program with a steep learning curve. After a month at Innisfail, the constables have reached the critical point in their training. This is the end of level 1, and in 2 days they'll be tested. If they fail, their dreams of being a member of the K9 unit, something they've worked years for, are over. Just like that.
If you can succeed at level 1, if you've trained properly in the level 1 level, there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't be able to succeed at level 2 or level 3. It means you've brought your dog up to that level. He's now performing to that standard, and the other levels should be relatively routine after that. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure at the level 1 for sure.
This year, there are 8 constables in level 1, and they're divided up between 2 trainers. Trainer Dave Silvestri leads a team that includes Jesse and Tyro, Sean and Ty, Curtis and Timo, Craig and Torque.
Each dog is different, in terms of the amount of attention you use. That's where you're coming in and know your dog. The guys, after doing X amount of tracks, the guys say, you know what, this is where I need to be.
Trainer Jackson Nash's team includes Dan and Tony, Dion and Tito, Rod and Tar, Sean and Turbo.
It's just a matter of just advancing just a couple of feet from the last circle, and you'll hit it. Good job.
The level 1 test will see whether the constables have mastered the basics of tracking. One of the handlers is assigned to run through the field in a random zigzag way, leaving a scent trail. The constables and their dogs have to find the trail and have to track it to its endpoint. The trainers are drilling the constables to make sure they have the fundamentals down cold.
Okay, crawl up a bit, a little too far back on the line.
The handlers have a big job to do. These are working dogs, bred for intelligence, trained to be confident. Whether that breeding will pay off will depend on how good these officers are at developing the dog's police skills.
Keep coming. Boom, there it is, coming back to it. Circle, bring it right back. Here you go, let them get into it. Here you go.
Training and handling a police dog is nothing like training the family pet. Even something as simple as how the handler uses the leash, or in this case the long line, to direct the dog, has to be perfect. With the test looming, both Dave and Jackson drill their trainee handlers repeatedly until they get it right.
It's just not holding on to the line and praying to God I get to the end of it. That's that's the terminology you have to work your dog. It's not a jerky, sudden thing. I always use the analogy of fishing. If you're out there, it's all from here. When you have that line tension, right, this is where you kind of want it, and you feel that? Yeah. And you want it to be out here. If you're holding it like this, you go to check him, where are you gonna go? Nowhere, okay? Now when he's relocating, this is what you're doing. Okay, that's what you want. You feel that? And have it out here.
Line's too loose. That's why he's all over the place.
And he's kind of doing that, and you want to keep him tracked sure. That's all you're doing. You see him start to veer there a little bit? Okay?
The skills on the long line are a key part of guiding the dog in the single most important level 1 basic, tracking. This is where the handler and the dog need to really be tuned into each other.
Slow him down just a tad.
It's a bit like a tango, as the handler both guides and responds to the dog's signals.
Let him get established, and away we go. If this is your line here, right, and the dog falls off, so when he falls off and you bring him back over the track, his confirmation is the head snap that he's on the track.
Yeah, you got to believe in the dog. He's going to give it to you. You just got to believe where he's going, and you can confirm by your line tension. And when you circle, as soon as he gives you that the snap of the head, he knows that he's on the track, as opposed to him just looking around for it.
Just remember here, okay? When we come up through the hay bales, that's a distraction to him because he's visual, right? His head's up, he knows he's not tracking. What do? We say, fui that, Sue. Okay, tell him Sue, back to work. Okay, good.
Just a nice job of you overall of circling him and handling him and reading his track losses and all that good stuff. The article, first time out, hey, you know, he thinks he's at the end of the track. Took him a little bit to get back to work, but he figured it out, and right here, boom, he caught on pretty quick, eh? Yeah, we found it, let's go.
That was one of the best indicators I've ever seen out of him, eh? His head whipped and his body whipped around, he's like, oh, something's down there.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, so good job, and just this last little bit?
Trust the dog.
Trust the dog. You know, over time, that develops. You know, the bond develops between the dog and the handler. The handler gains confidence in the dog, and keep your eye on your fries.
Hi! One command, because one day your life might depend on it, and his life might depend on it.
That's about 40 kilograms of purebred German Shepherd lunging at that arm. When you're tracking down a bad guy, this is very, very effective. The Mounties call this bite work.
It's basically what we call this is a running attack, very elementary. There's really not too much control in the beginning. He's either lifted off the arm, or we use a reward to induce the dog to come off the arm. Just beside him, nice. When you feel he's calm, once he's out, send him.
Hey, come on!
And once he does send him, I want you to come alive, proper presentation, nice fight on the arm, okay?
As the constables finish up level 1, they practice a basic skill that they'll be doing more work with in level 2. Bite work is part of training the dogs in controlled aggression.
Good boy!
He was kind of a little bit more responsive, eh? Because as soon as you grabbed him and lifted him, he came out, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's the whole thing too. With your timing when you're doing that, go in there, ready, out, be ready to anticipate, out, and let him know, like, it's not, you're asking him, you're telling him, right? It's a command. Okay. Out! He's focused on his bad guy. That's what we're looking for. Now we got to throw the control into him.
Out! Oh, good boy! Atta boy! Atta boy, Darryl, good play. Hey, next.
One day soon, these dogs will be working police dogs. But at about 16 months, they're still part puppy. Running, jumping, biting is fun for them. But like any puppy, they have to learn their sit-stay commands.
Curtis.
Stay.
Feel free to reward when you want to.
Atta boy, Darryl, good dog. Atta boy.
Another skill. The dogs have to be trained to trust the constables completely and obey instantly, even if they're led into unfamiliar territory. For level 1, this is practiced on a teeter-totter.
He's lined up good, just continue right on into the next one. Better, very nice. A lot better than yesterday.
Time's up. Level 1 training is over. Tomorrow is the test day. Trainer Dave Silvestri thinks all 8 of the trainee handlers are doing well, and he has confidence in them as they face their biggest challenge so far.
The guys are picking up pretty quick here on reading their dogs and knowing their dogs. So they're figuring out too, where should I be on at specific times during the track in regards to their line. They're reading their dogs very well.
The Level 1 test is a make it or break it for the constables in the K9 course. It marks 30 days since the course began. Now the trainers need to see that the constables are grasping the demands of the K9 unit.
There's a lot of pressure put on them, absolutely, by us. There has been for that 30 days. And I quite frankly don't think we want to get away from that pressure and stress of the test day because it's similar to what they're going to encounter in the field.
So they're a little apprehensive, it's a little nerve-wracking, but that's what it's all about. You got to be able to handle pressure situations, and if you can't handle being tested, then maybe you shouldn't be working the dog in the first place.
Sergeant Tom Smith is testing Dave Silvestri's team.
We're just looking for the intensity, how hard he looks for the track, his nose down if he's heads up gawking around.
Level 1 is about the most important basic skill, tracking. All of the skills the constables have been learning and teaching their dogs over the last month comes together when they're following a scent trail. And that's what they'll be tested on today. For the first time since they've arrived at Innisfail, the constables have to perform on their own, without the support and advice of their trainers. With everything resting on this test, can the constables put their nerves aside?
Stay calm, relaxed. Just, remember your basics of circling, line tension. The dog is going to give you the track. You just got to know how to read his indications as to where he's going to go.
It's like anything else. Once you get going, you sort of forget about the things around you, more or less. You're trying just to keep your head up to see where possibly the track will go. And the dog's sort of pulling you through, and so I'm trying to watch as much as possible what the dog's doing.
A month of intense work has come down to this. The testers are looking to see how well the constable trainees are able to guide their dogs as they track a scent trail in a wide open field. Any one of a number of distractions, from animal smells to wind direction, could throw the dogs off. 3 of the constables in the first group pass.
Nice and solid, very good negatives, good track relocations with that guy, and yeah, he's a nice tracking dog.
But during Constable Sean Cleary's test, the wind blew up and his dog Ty lost the scent. Whether it was nerves or just bad luck, Sean couldn't get Ty back on the track.
Not much to say. Dog worked well. A few handler mistakes in terms of the circling and the wind.
He never cut the track when he circled it, so he was all circling away from it. And when he finally did cut the track, off he went.
You went out, you did a half circle,
Yeah.
came back, and then another half circle the other way.
Back, yeah.
So just try and remember to complete one circle.
Okay.
If you get nothing, then open it up.
It's getting to know your dog and getting to read him and stuff like that, yeah.
Live and learn. We'll try again tomorrow. So that's about it. Good job. All right, Ty.
They were more nervous today than they were yesterday. These guys seemed a little more apprehensive. The level 1 test is truly their first attempt at succeeding at something with that dog.
The test comes after the first month of training, a month spent learning the basics of scent tracking. This is the most crucial test they'll face. They get 2 chances to do the level 1 test. And if they fail, they're out of the K9 unit. Constable Dan Block joined the RCMP specifically to work in the K9 unit, and he's feeling the pressure.
The first time you've ever been tested in, the police dog atmosphere, and you don't know what to expect. You can do it because you've done it up to that point, and they wouldn't be testing you if they didn't think you were capable.
Dan and his dog Tony are part of the final 4 to be tested. One of the major challenges in tracking is managing the environment. If the wind changes direction, the dog can lose the scent, and the constable has to use his skills to help the dog get back on the track. Unfortunately, Dan ran into this problem during his test.
And then the wind blew him off down here, and that's a handler mistake. He didn't take into account the wind direction to bring the dog back up the track, and he ended up way off in the corner of the field here. So whether he ever would have come back on his own, who knows? But sooner or later, you got to step in and take the training of the dog into account.
And that's probably the biggest thing that we preach to these guys is, where your wind is all the time. He's going to give it to you. He's not going to lie to you. Trust him and don't hold him back so much.
He'll try and take the lead role.
Right.
So I have to be quick, and I know what I have to do.
Think of him as a metal detector. He's out there working that track. He's a tool for you. As he gets tired, you got to get a little bit softer in the hand. We'll do a redo.
That's just not the standard. We got to go and help them out, then we got to start over again. So we'll try it again tomorrow. 2
of the trainees didn't pass their level 1 test today. Sean and his dog Ty and Dan and Tony both had a rough day. But the trainers believe both Sean and Dan are solid handlers who simply succumbed to nerves. So tomorrow, they'll do the test again. But the two constables know that if they don't pull it together, their hopes of being on the K9 team are over.
Even the trainers knew that we had better tracks in us. And with our pride, we wouldn't have been happy if they passed us on that, because we know that we've done better and we can do better.
You get one retest, and if you're unsuccessful at the retest, unfortunately, we're going to put you on the plane and send you home.
Dan Block joined the force to be a K9 handler. Failing yesterday's test was a blow. Today's redo is his last chance to reach his dream.
The dog's proven up to that point he's the brains of this operation, and you should just trust in your dog, and that's all part of it.
We give the retest for the simple reason that we understand and have been around long enough that we are working with dogs. Something can go wrong on any given day. It's not a machine that you expect to work every time, so we allow that retest in the event that something has gone wrong.
You know, I know what to do for the retest. You know, just go out there and have fun and relax.
There's not a person in this at this facility that doesn't want these people to succeed.
Today, Dan and Tony are on the money. They passed their level 1 test, and they're going to move on to level 2.
Very nice, very nice. Whew, good job. Just a few things though, okay? Every time you get into a little bit of trouble and you're circling, you're locked in. I know you're locked in, but look for a little bit of a slack in your line there, a little bit loose line, and a little bit softer hands, and yeah, very nice. Much better.
Okay, more relaxed today.
Yeah, all my mindset was to have fun.
Now, what do you think happened along that tree line there?
Dog's tired, low scent, then he got it.
The news is also good for Sean and his dog Ty. Sean aced his level 1 test.
Your track was really good too. Your dog worked really well. A little bit animal at the start, but you worked through it, just moved her past it, and once she got on the track, she never quit. So good job, everybody. Start back on level 2 tomorrow.
But good job, guys. Made me proud.
Thank you, thank you, gentlemen.
There's always agility. That's a downfall of many a dog's. Alrighty.
You get that sense of accomplishment because you passed, but in the back of your mind too, you're also a little frustrated, thinking, why didn't I do that the first time? Because you knew you could do it. You just had to prove that you could.
Really good, but I'm very fortunate. She's a very strong tracker, and we've had a good team so far. I'm reading her well, and she's telling me exactly where to go.
Things happen for a reason, and you learn from that, because you learn to relax and you learn to work as a team.
I love you, buddy. I love you, Tony.
It's been a pressure cooker environment, and deliberately so. Once they've passed the course and go into the field, the handlers and the dogs will work in dangerous situations with no supervision, and the choices they make could mean life or death.
Really good day. Congratulations on your level 1. Good job. Well done. Put your dogs away and come and get me when you guys are done.
It's been a very intense month for the constables. They've had to take themselves and their dogs from talented potential to focused trackers who work as a team.
It's starting to become a really good, solid team, and it's not the dog fighting with the handler in terms of them trying to work with each other. A work of art, you would say. It's a really nice fluid motion, the way the handler is working with this dog. Show me your magic.
All 8 of the constables are moving up to level 2. But for the last day at level 1, the dogs and the handlers get some time to let loose and have fun. At the same time, they're practicing obedience training, and the dogs are working those lightning speed reflexes.
Come. Sit. Sit. Down.
I really think this is going to be my diamond in the rough right here.
Billy Tyrone. Oh, it's nice to be done. Yeah, it's great. There's new stuff in level 2, so new challenges, it's good. And we're getting close to being half done, so that's nice. It was a good day. Dogs pulled us through.
Now, it's on to level 2 and a whole new set of challenges as the K9 team moves from a rural to an urban environment.
What we're looking for is a dog that has a good hunt drive. He wants to get to the end of that track, that he's not distracted, he's technically sound, he's nose down, involved in the track, he's methodical, he's hunting, he's trying to find what's at the end of that track.
Hey, gonna go do some tracking, find a bad guy? Hey, we're gonna go find a bad guy?
Level 2 track, you're gonna have some hard surface, gravel, some pavement, and grass. So these dogs have got to deal with traffic, humans, that type of thing as distractions. Just get him by it, circle into the fence, circle into the fence. That's okay, get her by it. Boom, good stuff. Get her going. Hi there. Yeah, it's just a different environment of tracking into it, and it's something that the dogs are required to do. This is what a majority of the work what the guys are going to be doing. They're going to be in town doing tracks when they're out operationally, so the dogs have got to get used to working in this environment.
Next time on K9 Mounties, the danger level of training ramps up as the handlers and their dogs begin to search out weapons and explosives.